Ryan Coogler wants to believe Michael B. Jordan fights a chicken jockey, and Ryan Gosling breaks the Star Wars mold.
Oh, it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call! Bueller.
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller.
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
Late for jokes.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kimblett to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Howdy, classmates. Welcome to Middle Class Film Class. I'm your host for today, Rootin' Tootin' Tyler.
I'm Joseph.
I'm just plain Pete.
We have a great show for you today. I think you all will like.
Dear God. This is offensive to Bruce, you know?
Is it?
Bruce. He's not from the South.
He lives in the South.
Yeah, he does. Well, regardless, welcome everyone on. Because we're in the spaghetti western April genre.
Should be
whatever.
Italian.
Yeah.
You're speaking.
Oh, ew.
How is that any worse?
I hope I don't get canceled for that. But anyways, welcome everyone on YouTube Live and otherwise. And of course, the OG audio only classmates in podcast land.
Yeah.
It's great to be back. It's great to be here. We're in literally the perfect weather for this time of year. And
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
Get a whip for that.
Nothing else. There's nothing else going on with us. Just weather.
not really, no. I mean, like, I mean, is
Have
there,
a hook boy. This is your episode. Hook him in.
If you're watching, he's got a bandana on, so that's
Tyler's
that's
got a
something
bandana
new.
on.
Oh yeah, like, you know what? Let's not put attention to that. That
You're the
doesn't-
one that wore the bandana.
It doesn't matter.
With no warning.
It doesn't matter. With no warning.
No,
I
you
don't
didn't even. I was not prepared.
And it would have been great if you would have sent a text ahead of time. Just a heads up, guys. I'm wearing a bandana today.
Yeah, just yeah. I'm changing up the look.
I used to wear a bandana actually in high school
Yeah.
when I had long hair.
How'd you wear it? Like this? Like
Yeah, like
a
that.
headband?
Similar.
Yeah.
Like a Rambo?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Did you call it a Rambo? Is that a karate?
I didn't know you were.
kid?
I didn't know you were a Crip.
Well, no,
that's
I'm
new.
not affiliated. I'm not affiliated with that gang. But I went to
Fooled me.
I went to a liquor store after work one day, and they had these blue bandanas, like, you know, displayed. And I thought to myself, you know what? I think I'm gonna get one. I don't even know why.
It's time to start being myself.
Did you deliberate on what color?
Was there multiple colors?
Well, so they had red.
It was
and
a scrap only
They had
shop.
they had red and they had blue, and then blue
Blood
is
or Crip?
my favorite.
Choose your faction.
Blue is my favorite color, so I was like, well,
You have a favorite color? That's weird. Aren't you like
That's
32?
weird.
Almost 32?
I'm almost 33, you son of a bitch.
No, you're...
In less than a week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, yeah, less than a week.
yeah.
Joseph, do you have a favorite color?
Ooh.
I stopped thinking about it.
That's what I'm saying.
How do you stop thinking about a favorite color?
I have larger things to worry about. I have the weight of the world on my shoulders now.
That you
I
do.
suppose like of the green genre.
Green genre. Okay, so
More like
so
chartreuse or moss.
Forest green?
Closer to moss,
Yeah.
I guess, like a darker green.
olive.
I like a good burnt sienna,
Mhm.
or like a terracotta, like a bright
It's like an
terracotta.
orange, right?
Yeah, like an orangish,
like
an
a
earth
desert
tone.
orange.
Well,
But
see, there you
I
go.
couldn't
Look at you guys waxing on about favorite
Yeah,
colors.
no.
I'd say they were my favorite.
I said
I like them.
I could not confidently tell you if I had a favorite color though. I have a color that complements my wardrobe. I have a favorite color of car sometimes, depending on the car.
True. Yeah.
But if I were to choose a bandana, it would be for my gang affiliation.
Yeah.
Pop a scrap in the lip, let the true color drip, Tyler.
Well,
you and I are enemies now. I'm a blood.
Jeez.
My
I
friend,
have blood.
Yeah, I'm a half blood prince.
Well, Pete, well, I mean, that cough just said it enough. You were infirmed. You're feeling well now.
I'm 100 times better than I was 2 days ago. I'm
That's
still
great.
not feeling great.
I'm sorry that you're still not feeling.
No, it's
great,
good. I
but-
apologized for right off the jump to the classmates because I already have the sniffles and the throat clears during allergy season anyways.
The sniffles.
Yeah,
It's gonna be worse today.
I know.
I'm gonna be hot on that mute button throughout the.
on the.
I don't think
Hot on the
anybody
mute
caught what you just said.
I'm gonna be hot on the mute
I don't think
button.
Well, it's great to have you back in semi-full health.
Thank you.
Seemingly.
Joseph, do you even suffer from like any allergies or anything like that, or are you just like immune to the pollen and
No,
It's like Steve Rogers after.
I'm certainly not immune. Feel like it's gotten like I get more sneezy just because there's shit flying around in the air.
yeah,
Literal
lit-
shit.
Yeah,
Literally.
actual the tree cum,
yeah.
and just like getting into my nasal cavity.
Uh-huh.
I have been a little bit more sneezy this week.
I know, right?
You know, it's like you kind of feel like
Yeah.
like your nose is a little runny or eyes are a little itchy.
Well, I mean, there's some sort of bug going around, so everyone's like, I don't know if it's allergies or if it's this cold going around.
It's kind of hard if you do have allergies because like
Always you have to default to the allergies because like even after this bug completely clears out, I'm still going to be riddled with allergies.
Yeah.
but at least you won't be a contagious person.
Correct. I'll just be a disgusting mess.
Can you tell the difference when you're sick or versus allergy sick?
Yeah, it's just
Body
compounds.
pains.
No, I didn't have any body pain. It was like it felt like my head was going to pop like a balloon.
That's a body pain.
That's my
You're-
head pain.
That's part of your
My-
body.
Yeah, but if you stub your toe, you don't say, "Oh, my body hurts."
You don't?
No, you don't.
My whole body hurts after I stub my toe.
That's a normal human reaction, but most people will also wash their entire hands, not just their pinkies. So we won't get into that though.
Yeah, well,
My PB finger.
yeah, well, speaking of PBs and pinkies, let's get into some gab and chatter.
Find some charity, you lad. Now's the time for gab and chatter.
Okay, movie news, movie discussions, what have you regarding films. We're going to talk about it here right now.
Here we
Joseph,
go.
what do you have for us this week?
3, 2, 1, go.
And you start talking now. So Ryan Coogler is super hot right now. His movie Sinners just released over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Sinners
to
is so hot.
the highest reviewed movie in the last decade, apparently.
Really?
Like premiere,
Oh.
like apparently it's got like a 96% critics, 97% audience, or something like that.
Currently 98% tomato meter, which is the
Jesus.
critics.
Yeah.
96% popcorn meter from the audience.
Wow.
And it was saying 100% as of like after like 150 reviews. Now it's at 2,500 reviews, 96%, 228 critics at 98%.
So it is hot. He's a hot topic right now.
So it's on the on the fence whether it's going to be good or not.
So yeah, it seems decent based on that.
Yeah.
And Ryan Coogler has directed Fruitvale Station, Black Panther,
I forgot he did Fruitvale.
Black
That was good.
Panther the sequel. That's what it's called.
Black Panther Awakening, Black Panther Rebirth.
And now this Sinners. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with his filmography, but if that's it, then that's it. So after this, he is apparently
Creed.
Oh yes, Creed. Immediately, he is going into a reboot of the '90s TV show X-Files.
Show or movie?
It's going to be a show.
No way.
It's going to be a show.
Yes! It's happening!
Yes. 2 years ago, this is reported from the AV Club. 2 years ago, X-Files creator Chris Carter dropped a surprising bit of news on fans. He'd recently spoken to a young man who was planning to reboot the series, said sprightly whippersnapper being filmmaker Ryan Coogler. And he is already 4 movies deep into a remarkable run of critically and commercially successful filmmaking. Further details about this review, beyond Carter stating that it would have a diverse cast, have been basically nil since. But Coogler has now confirmed that, yeah, he's making a new X-Files and he's working on it, in quotes, immediately next.
Cool.
So per Variety, Coogler brought up the reboot during an appearance on another a horror podcast, Last Podcast on the Left, while talking about Sinners. And his words are, "I'm working on X-Files, bro." What
an honor.
I've been excited for that for a long time, and I'm fired up to get back to it. Some of those episodes, if we do our jobs right, will be really fucking scary.
Some of those episodes. Oh, that's so exciting. Tyler, what's your favorite episode? Don't say home of the X-Files.
Oh no, it's not home.
Okay.
It's the pilot episode. The first episode is my favorite.
Really?
X-Files. When I first watched the X-Files, and I saw that first episode, I fell in love immediately. I was like, this is, I mean, you know, the tragedy of me being in existence right now is that I wasn't lucid to watch the X-Files as it was coming out. But
Yeah, you're pretty young.
But I'm privileged to be able to watch the X-Files and all of the other older shows that I enjoy. I'm cautiously optimistic about this new story because with the other reboot of the X-Files that happened,
It was just a movie though.
No, they had like a short run of a
They did.
Really?
reboot
Yeah.
show,
Oh, I don't know.
and it wasn't
remember
that. It just wasn't that great. I think Chris Carter has he has a problem with this show because he
That he made.
yeah, I mean because he just doesn't get his own idea. Like he gets ahead of himself and he doesn't.
That kind of sounds very elitist of you. I understand this guy's property better than he does.
You know what?
He just doesn't get it. Okay?
It might. Okay, so yeah, I will
I kind of
say
feel that way about current Ridley Scott.
Really, Scott?
It's like you can see where they were thinking of like why this would be a good idea, and then they kind of fumble it in a way. But again, I'm not in the industry, so I don't know the inner workings of it. So like I'm not gonna say like, hey, Chris Carter, you know, you really should have done this. He would have been like, well, fuck you. Like
Well, you are saying it. He's just not here to respond.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Actually, on the other line, we have Chris Carter.
oh well,
The
shit.
Chris Carter.
Yes.
I mean, Joseph, have you watched the X-Files like in its entirety? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it?
I mean, I watched it growing up because my parents watched it, and I mean, it was always.
Was it like a Sunday night event? Or
like-
wait, no, I
You
think
guys are like
I didn't know
2
what-
years old when
I
it came out.
I didn't know what day it was. It was just on at nighttime.
It started in '93. Weren't you guys 2 years old?
It started. I got
was
older
one-
though.
Yeah.
So you watched the last few seasons.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then it was on reruns. They would
Yeah,
play multiple.
yeah.
Like it's not like there was just one run of the show.
Okay, so your parents were a fan of it, and then you just watched
And
it.
I watched it, and then I have more of a memory watching the first movie.
Yeah,
which
because
was very spooky as a kid to watch, of like the kid getting stuck in the hole,
yeah,
and then is it Scully who gets taken,
yes,
and like she gets put in a pod,
yeah,
and there's like this whole bees like
Yeah, and-
station thing. I don't know.
and
I
bees.
don't remember a whole lot about it. I just remember the visuals mainly. But I mean, I have a vague memory of a lot of the visuals from X-Files. Me and Deanna tried to rewatch it years ago.
Uh-huh.
With the one episode I remember, it was like there was like a Neanderthal. There was like a Neanderthal episode.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because it's not always aliens.
No.
It's always just like
It's like cryptids,
It's just unexplained.
ghosts.
yeah. And most of the episodes is just Scully going, "Aliens, Mulder, really?" That's pretty much the gist of like all the episodes. Like the Twilight Zone is like like I'm the same, but everybody's different. That's like all the Twilight Zone episodes.
There's a great Twitter post that said, Scully, victim died of multiple stab wounds. Mulder throwing a file at her. Ever heard of the knife alien, Scully?
But speaking of Scully, Cooliger was put on the spot with a question about whether Gillian Anderson would be involved. And she's been pretty vocal about having reached the end of the road with at least Chris Carter's version of the show, having been fairly annoyed by its treatment of Dana Scully in its revival season. Coogler admitted that, yeah, they've spoken. She's incredible and fingers crossed, which reads to us as, hey, maybe a cameo, but one can live in hope. Coogler is still rolling in a pretty hefty blank check period, and the X-Files divorced from its serialized elements is pretty much an evergreen concept.
Oh, blank
cool.
check.
So
Well, yeah,
and
he's hot right now.
He could kind of do like anything with it.
He's like Eggers right now. Eggers is just neons throwing money at him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what that would look like. I mean, Jordan Peele tried to do a Twilight Zone reboot, and I don't think that did very well.
It was okay.
But
It wasn't only like a streaming exclusive sort of deal too. Like what was
It's hard. It's hard when you take beloved properties and reboot them. Like Jonah Ray rebooted the MST3K series.
Yeah.
And it's like the passionate fans of the original either are just happy to get more or they hate it because the original crew's not, completely involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Patton Oswalt's there, which always divides the room.
Yeah. I mean, I love the new reboots of the MST3K. Speaking of,
I think they're great.
Yeah, they're really fun. I mean, not every episode of the original is a banger. And obviously the humor for the younger generation is pretty dated.
Yeah, I mean that kind of like
less topical.
Either way, Coogler, I'm in. So
yeah, I
I'm
am
excited for that.
Yeah, and I'm sad that there's no 70 mil screening nearby.
Yeah,
I think San Francisco is the closest one.
I will be talking about that in just a second.
All right. Well,
but yeah, Coogler X-Files reboot.
Woohoo!
No release date or anything, but that's imminent.
I mean, he's got some.
It's got the juice. Ooh, I like that. What's that from?
Yeah, you know what it's from. It's the end of a jingle.
It's
is that the O'Reilly's
yeah,
one?
Yeah, it's the O'Reilly's.
Wow, just that one bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
Great.
All right. That's all.
Great stuff. Pete, what do you have for us this week?
Cough.
Excuse me. I got a cough. Yeah, people who are just joining us, I'm dying, but I'm here. So
he's alive.
Speaking of, I'm praying to a God I don't believe in, still alive, but I'm barely breathing, as they say in that great song. Tyler didn't ask me, but the X-Files was ruined my childhood, and I loved it.
I already knew that. Yeah, I already knew that. I did not know Joseph watched.
Ruined my childhood.
How did it ruin your childhood?
He's scared.
Many sleepless nights worrying that a gray alien was going to abduct me.
I was more scared of the introduction to the 48 Hours mystery show. That's 60 minutes.
Okay. Every time my clock's on, I'm like, ah!
Oh, jeez.
No. It's all time-based. Time-based shows.
I liked the freak show one. That was my favorite. The circus one. Turned out it was the guy with the, he had the Siamese twin.
Yeah, he had the
that
thing
would jump off him and go suck someone to death.
Yeah. Well, Siamese
I wish
twin
someone
is
would
not
suck me
the
to death.
correct nomenclature for that.
Siamese twin.
No, that's
the scientific fact. It wasn't even a conjoined twin. It was like a leech creature.
Yeah, it was. So say that.
Okay, leech creature. That's
You're gonna
more.
get us canceled.
That's more sensitive to him. That freak.
I'm joking.
Also, Scully ate a real cockroach in that one, or cricket, not cockroach.
Yeah, create a bug.
Okay, so speaking of Coogler, basically at the box office right now, we have a battle for people who appreciate cinema and children. Ryan Coogler's Sinners is...
I don't know, man. That 15-year-old's pretty hot.
Yeah, exactly. A Minecraft movie is taking the world by storm. The largest opening weekend box office for any video game movie of all time. And I think the interesting thing about this is more of just an opinion and conversation than a news story.
Yeah.
But the thing to think about is people want to make like new classic reboots of classic properties and stuff like that. Take what's popular now and do something interesting with it, and it's almost a guaranteed success to print money. Mario is still relevant today. They're still making Mario games. Kids are still playing Mario all the fucking time.
Yeah.
My 10-year-old nephew, who's 11 now, he still loves Mario.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, all the people who grew up playing NES and beyond still have a soft spot for Mario if that's their jam. So Super Mario Brothers movie, it's not a surprise that it made
Make $1 billion.
Over $1 billion, like $1.4 billion. Insanity for a completely mediocre movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's visually appealing and it's cute and it's fun and stuff like that, but it's a mid movie that appeals to a very broad audience and appeals to a young generation that still is obsessed with this iconic character.
They're really just trying to shove Jack Black into as many franchises as possible.
Jack Black and Chris Pratt. Just merge them into Jack Pratt Black.
Hey, they sell.
Jack Pratt.
Yeah.
Chris
They
Black.
sell.
So, and then they did Five Nights at Freddy's, which wasn't like a huge box office, but for whatever reason, kids are still into that. That it was like a meme.
Yeah.
Like
Where's the Among Us movie?
Exactly. They would have.
It's coming.
But no, Among Us came in. It was a flash in the pan. It came and went too fast.
Yeah.
But Minecraft remains.
What?
Flash in the pan. Yeah.
Came too fast.
It came out there. There you go. But the Minecraft game is the highest selling game of all time. 300 million copies plus. It's been sold, and
Damn.
it's unbelievable how
The population of the U.S.
360 million.
Oh, we're close.
Yeah.
I like how you had that right
Almost.
off the cuff.
Oh yeah, it's right around there. It's changed over the years. It might be close to 375.
One for every
now.
household.
Let me check my math.
One for no, don't do it. Just keep going.
Oh, hold on. Current
don't give a shit about
population, United States. This is more interesting than the 340. I was way off.
Oh, okay.
So the Minecraft game itself is a world phenomenon. So they made the movie and it fucking took off.
Yeah.
And it's not the largest opening weekend for any animated movie, but it did beat the opening weekend for Inside Out 2 recently, which went on to become
Like a huge
the number 2 animated movie highest grossing of all time, right behind Ninja 2 for that Chinese
Oh
one.
yeah, that's right.
So
It's insane.
the trend is crazy, but then you have the problem with that though is we've become a culture of memes, and I'm guilty. I'm wearing a Mudang shirt right now. Mudang.
That's a meme?
Mudang is more or less has become like a social media icon in the memosphere.
An influencer.
An influencer, if you will, a hippo-fluencer, if you will. It's a Thai-based pygmy hippo that was born sometime in 2024, early 2024, and took the world by storm for how cute she was.
Oh.
I think it's a she. I don't know. It means.
Are you misgendering this hippo?
It means bouncy. It means bouncy rubber. The name Mudang. Yeah. And the meme culture has basically permeated our entire society now, and the young kids have always liked these trends where they can do stupid things in public and get away with it forever. When I was a kid, we would copy Jackass.
Yes.
Someone would have a camera in our friend group. It was me. I had a mini DV, Canon mini DV camera, and I was able. We'd have it always on me, and we would go push each other in shopping carts, smash into bushes in the middle of, parking lots at CVS or whatever.
Did the same thing.
We would,
Back in my day.
yeah. What would you guys do that was kind of the trend and stupid in public?
Well, so my
trend.
well, so
I didn't go outside.
my childhood friends, one of the guys had one of those really old, like big, like VHS cameras.
Yeah.
And so we would go film, we'd film each other. It was more like CKY than Jackass because we'd film each
Same
other
thing.
like skating and stuff like that. But like we would also there's, oh man, I fractured my finger skateboarding into a rose bush, but there was like a post, like one.
I don't want to talk about war
posts.
injuries. I'm just saying, what was the thing that you did? Just a quick question.
Okay, yeah, just skateboarding, and then just hitting each other. We put dish soap in that big fountain in Folsom.
Yeah, that was the thing. Dish soap. We would do we dish soap our friends' cars and stuff like that. But that's more like pranks you're playing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like it was in the same like influence.
What I feel like it's evolved into is like, remember when the Minions movie came out, Rise of Gru, and like large throngs of children would go in suits and go see the movie together? It was like 20 years and younger boys
Really?
would go. They'd all dress in black suits, and they would go into a business meeting.
Yeah.
And they'd all, like 50 of them, and go see the movie at the same time. And they
I've
would.
never heard of that before. But
We covered it on the show. And,
we did?
Yeah, this was probably 3 years ago or so.
I don't remember that.
And they would run amok in the theater. They would be disruptive and whatever, because they're just like there with 40 of their friends and having a good time, and they're like,
They have 40 friends.
we're going to steal the moon. Yeah, they're all probably like a basketball team or something in high school,
Yeah.
So now the trend is, for this particular meme at this moment in time with the Minecraft movie, is the chicken jockey and screaming at the top of your lungs anytime a reference from the game pops up in the movie. And I've seen reports of like police being called to theaters because kids are getting so rowdy. People literally doing backflips in the crowd people videotaping of the reactions, and when the chicken jockey scene pops up and Jack Black says chicken jockey, literal like a fog of popcorn thrown in the air, like a haze of popcorn, and the aftermath of these theaters is insane.
I mean, it's kind of like if you have ever seen The Room in a theater.
Similar, except for spoons are easier to clean up than popcorn.
True.
So you've seen this, Joseph?
I've seen the clips. I've seen the obnoxiousness. I feel terrible for those employees.
I know.
And
go to the 3.
It's a they're buying tickets to go to these theaters, which is a good thing.
They're buying popcorn.
That's a good thing. They're buying concessions
yeah,
and everything.
they're
Supporting the theater. But then you get these. But then they do this.
I know it's a double-edged sword. So they've gone so far now to add in pre-screens at the beginning. That's like a still image that says, "We understand you're excited. Please no shouting at the chicken or no throwing popcorn at chicken jockeys." You know,
It's more that. It's more just making the mess.
It's
the biggest issue.
and part of it is annoying the audience for the rest of the theater goers. But it's like part of it. I have two minds about that. You're excited to see a movie. You're excited, whatever. The people are there. Let them be happy. You're going an opening weekend or the weekend after. You're expecting there's going to be some activity. You know, my screening of The Substance was exciting because there was almost a packed house, and I was looking at strangers like, "Can you fucking believe this?" That's Demi Moore, and it was exciting because we were laughing and like jeering together a little bit, and like cringing in our seats. But you know, there's a line. And I think the line is destroying the theater to the point where it takes an hour to turn over a theater because it's so destroyed by food and popcorn.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening. There's certain theaters are editing out the chicken jockey scene specifically to avoid it.
So funny.
And then Jack Black showed up to a screening in LA that was exclusively for some kids that got some promotion or something like that. They won a thing through their school, I think, you know, and got to go see the movie together as a class.
I thought it was just like children with cancer.
No. They were just like read a bunch of books or something. I don't know. So he showed up in the flame shorts and tie-dye shirt he's been wearing everywhere in public and is like, "What up, guys?" Came in like, "I am Steve. You know, chill with the fucking popcorn, you assholes," or whatever, you know, before the
children.
to children, yeah.
Wow.
And basically we just told them, you know, "Hey, be polite," that sort of thing. And it like made their day, but it's like
It took the star of the movie.
every instance of this movie being talked about now is like how insane. And I have friends on Letterboxd and Facebook that gave reviews before it became a meme that were like, "My theater was absolute insanity in the best way. Kids were like jumping up and down and high-fiving each other's in the screen.
Going up and down the hall.
They're literally like high-fiving each other's and like having a moment with each other. And they're like, "I didn't like the movie, but I had the best time at the theater." And it's like, that's a wholesome moment. I have a friend who's he's got a very unique movie taste. He's recommended some movies that I watched that were just not my speed at all, just totally interesting and weird. And he gave it 3 stars,
Really?
which I thought was very surprising for him. And he said he went to go see the movie with his young son, and they can bond over certain things, but not over a lot of things. And he's like, in that moment, we bonded over his love of this movie, and I've seen him play the game, and I saw some references from the game, and it was a great experience. And him and all the other kids in the theater were losing their fucking mind. And then that wholesomeness gets bastardized into a fucking meme, and and it's like,
It's like the kids who, like the teenagers who ruin Halloween. Like they just they go around, they're not dressed up, just asking for candy.
Yeah.
It's like it's probably more that crowd than the actual like little kids who are excited to go to this movie, who are jumping up and down and stuff, and not and going with their parents. And then those are the ones that are like having to deal with these high schoolers, most likely, who are there for the meme, like they were there for the Minions meme.
It's exactly, and it's like this cycle. It starts out as this wholesome thing happens, and it makes like not news stories, but it makes kind of like internet trend, and you're like, wow, this movie is people losing their minds for this movie. And then some assholes get a hold of that and turn it into a meme, and they're like, we can make be TikTok famous for this. We're gonna crank it up even higher, and then it's like a snake eating its tail.
Yeah, it's just cascades into the chaos.
When we were kids, and even before we were kids, everybody knew that Marilyn Manson took 2 ribs out to suck his own dick.
Yes.
Everybody knew that Hugh Grant put a gerbil up his ass.
Richard Gere.
Richard Gere, yeah. Everybody knew that Lil Kim had to have her stomach pumped because she had so much cum in it after, a concert or something like that. We all knew these things to be true, even though none of them were true. Before the internet, were people mailing each other from across the fucking country to tell us these stories?
This shit spread.
It spread like wildfire, and that was before the internet. So instead of it taking months now for it to happen, it's within hours,
Weeks.
within days. A trend picks up by the next weekend, second opening weekend, the chaos is already there.
Yeah.
So if you don't get to see it on that first magical weekend before it's corrupted by internet culture,
Yeah.
maybe you're going to get stuck in the memosphere instead of the wholesomeness of it. So
That's interesting. Like, I mean, have we ever had an experience like that when growing up with a movie? Like, I can't think
The Matrix, but it never got corrupted though. It was just the first weekend I saw it, opening weekend. It blew my fucking mind.
No, I just mean like the whole like the destroying of a movie theater, like antics in a theater. Like I don't think I've ever
nothing that specific, but I remember people ruining the ending of Harry Potter when Dumbledore dies. They would drive by the lines. I'm sorry, Justin. Sorry to break it to you.
It's not
Yeah, he's dead. In real life too.
and in real life, yeah.
But yeah, like ruining that or ruining Phantom Menace or whatever.
Yeah.
People are waiting in line and then someone says, "Oh yeah," or was it the Star Wars the sequels when Yoda dies or not Yoda dies, Han Solo dies.
Yeah.
And so they drive by the people waiting in line outside the theater and they're like, "Oh yeah, Han Solo dies." And they're like, "Don't say that! You don't say that! You can't say that!"
Well, there's a famous story.
It's illegal.
There's a famous story of Bill Hader getting fired from his movie theater position because he told a group of teenage girls that Jack, what the hell is his last name?
Jack Sparrow.
No, not Jack Sparrow. In Titanic, Jack dies
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
And he got fired for that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's a good story.
Last name dies at the end.
Yeah. Jack dies at the end. So anyways, those are the two kind of prevailing crowds is the people who want to see this fantastic movie, Sinners. And I had this whole bit I was going to talk about. I got on a tangent about the memes, but
how was the 70 mil?
the whole point was that Ryan Coogler, he did a promo for Kodak and basically promoting his movie.
Yeah.
And he talked specifically about how the different formats used in filming in the movie used to reflect different shifts in time. So he used 16 millimeter for the past elements in the movie, digital for the present, and IMAX for the spiritual aspects.
Okay.
So very intentional, very specific. And he spends a whole segment of basically this promo just talking about he's got the different films in his hands and he's talking about it and showing the different scales and ratios of
really
what
cool.
each film. And it's like, that's such a cool thing to show to people.
Yeah.
When you're going to see a movie and going, you don't even know the level of intentionality behind these sort of things. And I just respect Coogler for it. And it gives you a different set of appreciation. Like even us who might spend a little bit more time being connected with the sort of news of the movie world or whatever, maybe it might appreciate it on a different level because you kind of feel like you have to.
Yeah.
But for a casual viewer to see something like this and go, wow, I had no idea. I didn't know what IMAX was. I didn't know it was a type of film or whatever.
Right.
Even though it's not truly. Anyways.
If you ever hear him talk, I mean, more recently especially, he's been going around doing a lot of press and interviews and stuff. If you ever hear him talk, he's got a really thick California accent. Like,
What's a California accent?
listen to him speak, and he's got that. He's got that West Coast. If California had an accent, I guess that would be the closest thing that you would imagine.
Okay.
But
A lot of films that are close to my heart, and it's making a big comeback. Like this past film year, Nora was shot on film. Film like The Brutalist was shot on film. You got some filmmakers that always use the format. So Sinners.
Okay, I see.
But
it.
when you hear him talk about that, like the filmmaking or filmmaking in general, it's like you can feel the passion that he has for it.
That's what I'm trying to get across.
And that's what makes watching his films, like as a person who's into film, more enjoyable.
It's a respect level that you just add just a little bit more because it's easy to dismiss somebody like Coogler to say, oh, the guy that did Black Panther, cool. He did 2 MCU movies. Those are his claim to fame. Like, no. There's much more than that.
His Fruitvale Station was like Oscar nominated.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
That was like his first movie.
I remember watching that thinking this is going to be a slog, and it was fucking great. And it's a semi-local movie too. You know, it happened in Oakland and Sunnyvale or something. Like, was it Oakland or Berkeley? Emeryville? Somewhere around there. It was the Bay Area. So
at a BART station.
Anyways, those are the things that are bringing money in right now. Is Sinners. My entire letterbox, start tip to tail, all Sinners reviews, all the people talking, glowing about it. Oh, I'm rewatching it, third time rewatching it, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Minecraft. And those are the people who are not on Letterboxd. Those are the kids who are on Minecraft.
Wonderful.
Future Letterboxd users.
Yeah, exactly. Couple comments in the chat. Heather says, Bouncy Pork is Mudang's name.
That's what it translates to?
And she's a she, yes. She says, I don't know why I remember that, but it probably displaced my CPR training.
Oh, no.
Angry Otter says, can't be as bad as cleaning up rice after a Rocky Horror Show. Absolutely. And then Heather also says, there's planned one-offs, plus every one of those is more expensive event tickets than I've been to. That's the Rocky Horror thing. And it's like, it's true. If you're going to have a showing where you're expecting that.
Like the room screenings.
Yeah, you're going to have an hour and a half turnaround time between screenings, if not a full day.
Everyone goes in there. Employees, like they know.
They pay more.
They know what's up.
They pay more to get in because there's going to be more costs involved. And then she also says, a Halloween in my house, if you're walking, you're eating. Candy for everyone. It's the mischief moron teens at Halloween that are the problem. Same as these movies. Yelling, fine. Trash, no. I think that's a pretty clear line in the sand. I don't honestly mind giving teenagers candy when they come to my door.
I always get so pissed off when I'm leaving a theater, like after the movie's over, and there's like a whole like half tub of popcorn that's just fallen over and just left on the ground.
That's annoying.
It's like so.
There's a trash right on that way out. You have to walk past it.
It's like the carton arc of movie theaters.
Oh yeah, we should do that. We should do that.
Yeah,
just get night vision goggles and wait until the credits roll. Excuse me, sir, you left your popcorn in there.
Kind of like the Nathan Fielder.
Do you
episode,
work here?
The movie theater where he's policing sharing popcorn, and he goes in the middle of a movie, and he's got a lantern and a headlamp, and he's like, "I saw you sharing popcorn."
A lantern, like an old style lantern.
Yeah, he's got like a lantern. He's like, "You're not supposed to be sharing popcorn. You're sharing popcorn."
I haven't seen that one. That's great.
That's funny as hell.
Anyways, that's all I got. Tyler, what do you got?
All right. Well, let's move on to my new story. Ryan Gosling's. This comes from slashfilm.com, and I kind of found this title a little condescending to the Star Wars franchise. But so it says Ryan Gosling's Star Wars movie is finally taking the franchise somewhere new. And I just think,
You don't agree with that?
No.
They tried to do it with Last Jedi, and everyone got pissed.
Yeah. Finally taking it somewhere new. Yeah, they already tried to take Star Wars somewhere new in multiple iterations of Star Wars stories, and I thought it was a funny, condescending title. The reason why I'm excited about this new story, though, is that Ryan Gosling is finally going to be. So maybe that's what they're saying about taking Star Wars in a new direction. Is they're going to have Ryan Gosling be a participant in the Star Wars franchise.
Who cares? Who cares that Ryan Gosling's in Star Wars?
I do, because I love Ryan Gosling and I love Star Wars. It's been more than 5 years since we had a Star Wars movie. I couldn't believe that sentence when I wrote it. I haven't wrote it.
You wrote this?
No, I wrote it. Read it.
You wrote it on Reddit.
No, I did not write it on Reddit.
Okay.
But it's crazy that it has been 5 years since we've had a Star Wars movie in theaters.
Honestly, my head is spinning right now.
I'm
For other reasons, but still.
Oh, okay.
You sure about that?
Which is pretty surprising, given that Disney once promised an entry annually from the legendary franchise, which I kind of vaguely remember that once the new Star Wars movies came out, the sequel trilogy, that they were going to put a new Star Wars movie out every year.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of stopped doing that. So
Oversaturation is a real problem.
Did they actually do that at one point?
Well, it was
kind of
between a series and a movie. It was
Well, it was like
it was like series, movies,
Rogue One and Solo.
Yeah.
Like those were the in between movies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I love Solo, by the way. I think that is a severely underrated Star Wars movie, and probably one of the best Star Wars movies that has come out in the more recent times.
I'd like it if I
franchise.
could see what was going on in it.
Yeah, the first half was pretty rough for sure. Anyways, so there's no release date, but the movie's going to be called Starfighter, and it's going to be directed by Sean Levy, who did Deadpool and Wolverine, which that's also what I'm excited about too. So you got Ryan Gosling, Sean Levy. New Star Wars movie. I can't wait. That's going to be a fun and exciting movie to come out. I just hope that they step away from the Force and the Skywalkers and, Darth Vader. Like, just do what they did with Solo and just focus on a good, maybe a heist movie or like a Macbeth sort of story set in the Star Wars universe. That's where I think that Star Wars is really highlighted as like a revered sort of.
There's so much content around that isn't movies though, that don't focus on the Force and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean that's like when you get into like the books and like comics.
Well, the series like The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian still has the Force in it though. Like what I liked about Solo was like
no Force. I want it to be a Star Wars movie. You don't even know it's a Star Wars movie.
Correct.
That's called
Rogue One.
It's called the creator. He does have it. Rogue One absolutely has the Force in it.
Does it? Well, the main characters.
I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. I am one with the Force. The Force is with me.
Yeah, it's a side character though.
It's in the movie.
But they doesn't actually use the Force. It's just
how
a
did he
belief
not
system.
die? And he's blind. Huh?
Yo, this bit again.
Tell me.
You talking to me?
On paper. No.
I mean,
write it down.
Okay, well, I don't have a pen and paper, but yeah, I think that this is going to be an exciting new movie that will revitalize the Star Wars franchise. Get rid of I know everyone is.
Is Disney paying you? It feels like you're promoting, like you're pretty hard. Like, I'm very excited because no one hates Star Wars. More
I'm wearing a bandana from a liquor store. I'm getting paid by Disney.
No one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
No, I don't hate Star Wars, but I hate that there is such a great idea placed in front of me, and it's not utilized correctly. So. But I'll take what I can get. I'm not much of a curmudgeon as I used to be when it comes to the Star Wars franchise. But with Ryan Gosling, I was thinking about this with Blade Runner 2049, like how I was very, very cautious about that movie because I like Blade Runner. And I think that was a movie that I didn't think even needed a sequel. And when I heard there was a sequel coming out, I was like, "Oh, here we go again!" And
again, there was only one movie.
Well, not with the Blade Runner, but like like with that Blade Runner 2049 came out like when everything was like being like rebooted. Similarly to the Star Wars franchise, like that was coming out too, and I was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, we're getting a Blade Runner movie." And so I was thinking to myself, well, Ryan Gosling did really great in Blade Runner 2049. I'm sure he will kill it in a Star Wars movie. It's called Star Wars Starfighter. So I have to assume he's probably going to be a pilot. He's probably going to have a pal that's an alien. And it's just going to be a fun adventure movie that I can't wait that comes out.
So it's going to be like Solo.
Probably.
I mean, that's all speculative anyways.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's my speculation. I mean, I could be completely
It's gonna be a fun romp.
It
could be dark.
Well, it's supposed to come out in 2027, so it's
a year of fun.
So
they already proclaimed it.
Yeah. So it should be a great time. I mean, so
we know nothing about it though.
Tyler's already made up his mind in his head. That's how he has his way.
It's gonna be good.
Well, actually, you know what? It's funny that you mentioned that, though, is because that the sequel. So I was thinking about this when I read this story this morning. That me and my family, we're big fans of Star Wars and the Indiana Jones series. And
Tyler famously gave The Last Jedi 6 out of 10 Baby Yodas.
But really. But really, what?
So quiet. Can you turn the boost that? What does it even say?
Oh, you want to play it again?
Yeah, what is it?
Fuck, I should have lied! No!
I should have lied?
Yeah.
What's that from?
I don't know.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Okay, well. What I really wanted to bring up the point of the story, though, is because what I was thinking about this morning is that, objectively, the sequel trilogy of Star Wars that came up. Okay.
Yes, we know what you're talking about.
It's more so that these movies create memories rather than them being objectively good.
What? So the point is we're making memories with Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess I was just trying to pontificate on the idea of that, although a movie might not be good objectively speaking, but it's the experience of seeing said movie that makes it good.
I just don't understand how that relates to Star Wars versus anything else, though.
Because the sequel trilogy was not great, but
event programming is what you're saying?
Yeah.
But you had a fun time watching it with your family.
You should go watch Minecraft.
So then any movie that is not great, but you're watching it with your family, it doesn't
have to be with my family. I'm just saying like it's.
But that's what you are saying.
Yes. Well, my family happens to be there. I'm just saying that it's the idea of going with loved ones. Could be family. Could be pals. Could be a partner. What have you?
Well, you said family, so that's why.
Well, I mean that was it was an example. It was an example. I'm just, you know what? It doesn't even matter.
Watching a not great movie with someone that you like or people that you like having around you elevates the watching experience, no matter how good or bad the movie is.
Yeah, I mean, when you say it that way, it makes me sound like a dumbass. But yeah,
as long as you're with the people you love.
So
as long as you're with your family and the movie isn't that great.
That's offensive.
What's offensive to
Are you RFK now?
Yes. I'm just kidding. I don't. If that was offensive, I apologize to anyone who was offended by that. But anyways, you know what?
Joking.
Yes, I am. Well, you know what? Gone on long enough. Let's get on to some streaming picks.
Movies.
Want to watch a movie?
Yes, I do.
Disney Plus, HBO Max.
If I don't get the pick, show's over.
I have grown accustomed to Hulu Plus.
Amazon Prime.
I like Netflix.
You found the pick.
Pow. Streaming picks. Joseph, what do you have for us this week?
I have a few. I'm gonna go worst to first.
Okay.
Streaming on Max is Joker 2.
Oh,
Joker Folie Deux.
Oh, that's the worst one.
Did you watch it?
it's the worst of all the Jokers.
I haven't watched it yet. I've been scared of it.
But yeah, no, I took the plunge, and knowing the how poorly it was received, and going handheld. And I went in with an open mind. I was hoping to like it. I wanted to like it, and I did not like it. The most offensive part of the whole movie is that it was just boring.
Yeah.
It was not the music part of it. No one ever mentioned the music. No one ever critiqued the music. Nothing I ever saw or read talked about really like focused on the musical part of it because it's a musical, a jukebox musical filled with songs I've never heard of.
They all suck too. They're all performed terribly.
And the performances were just like they could have left him out and I would have had the same exact experience.
Yep.
But they left him in and they were just there and they didn't do anything. They didn't add anything and they didn't really take anything away from it. The movie looks fantastic. A lot of great set pieces. Brendan Gleeson is there as a prison guard, which was kind of surprising.
Yeah, I liked him.
Lady Gaga is there.
The gagster.
But it's part of a courtroom drama. And there are like moments of the movie that I enjoyed. There's a moment where Arthur fires his attorney and he starts to represent himself. And that part of him making his case to the people of the court and the jury was pretty entertaining. I enjoyed it. There's a lot of great set pieces in the musical numbers. And a lot of that takes place in like a dream or just a vision scenario. So it's like a Broadway stage.
Yeah.
With him and Lady Gaga, who plays Harley Quinzel.
That's her name, Harley Quinzel.
Harlequin
Quinzel.
That's her real name.
But
I thought you were a Batman fan. Didn't you know this?
I had first time I'm hearing about that.
Only care about the male characters in that series, huh?
Yeah.
Man of the people.
But the movie looks really, really good. It's shot really well. Performance-wise, is nothing new. Like the first one is miles better in a lot of regards. In many a regard. But I feel like the character of Arthur Fleck is completely, it's like subverted from the end of the first movie. Like it doesn't make any sense continuity wise for his character, because he becomes kind of like a sociopath. Like the further, like in Joker 1, like as the movie progresses, he gets more and more lost in like violence and stuff. But in this one, there's like a lot of like, it's like he took like steps back and is trying to be more.
I think he realized
open.
He realized the error of his ways.
But that's not who the character of Joker is. But
big butt there.
Big butt. Big old butt. And I don't want to mention anything because it blew my mind.
It blew my mind. You can't get away from it. The last 5 minutes.
I really, really liked what they did. I loved what they did, but I just hate how they got there.
It was like
the end of Game of Thrones. I was like, I liked the choices that were made. I just didn't like how fast it was or how they got there. You know, I was happy with the conclusion, but not the journey.
It was the boldest ending to a movie I can remember in a long time. Really fucking with everything you thought.
Yes. And
with 2 hours of shitty movie before it.
Yes.
Which sucks.
So you have to, if you wanted, you could just look it up, but if you want to go on that journey, it's
Tyler, you really need to watch it now. You got to complete the trifecta.
Yeah,
it's streaming on Max. But yeah, the ending, I really, really liked what they did, because you are watching Joker and you're thinking time wise and all this stuff.
And it didn't make sense in the
and
first
I'm like,
one.
how does that make sense? Batman's a kid.
Yeah.
But that's all I'll say. Not a good movie. Hard to recommend.
I'd still recommend it.
But
and I agree with everything you said.
It's
still watch it. It sucks.
But I mean, it looks fantastic. It really does. But it kind of points out that it doesn't really matter how good a movie looks or how well produced a movie is. If the story is bad, if the script is bad, then it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because it's a really messy movie plot wise. I think the pacing was really off. It dragged in a lot of parts.
Yeah.
And it just felt really just sloppy Joe,
like a sloppy steak.
Yeah. Let's slop them up. So that's Joker 2 streaming on Max. Also streaming on Max, my next stream pick. This is a docu miniseries called Ren Faire. And
interesting.
This is about one of the largest Renaissance festival in Texas, where the king, quote unquote king, the guy who started it, is about to retire, and it tells a story of basically two people who are fighting to essentially become the new king of this Ren Faire. And it is
a movie about that. It's called Role Models.
Isn't that an episode of King of the Hill?
It's a really, really well produced documentary. Like it's
just called Ren Faire.
It's like a reality show that's filmed like a film, like if it was a fictional movie.
Really?
The editing and the shooting. I mean, there's a lot of like kind of stage stuff in terms of like character, like the actions that they do, but it's filmed really, really just like very engaging.
It's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's a really fun and well edited documentary because this old man, this stubborn old dude, is
great poster.
Is like. He says he's gonna retire, but then he like basically makes these two like guys who worked at the Ren Faire for years. He pits them against each other, and they're just like vying for the crown throughout the series. And
that's interesting.
And this old dude,
what are the parameters though? Well, I guess I have to watch it.
Money. It's like worth millions and millions of dollars.
Oh, jeez.
And the one of the guys is like this. He kind of looks like a hippie looking guy. He's got like this silver fox ponytail thing going on. But he just drinks nothing but energy drinks. It looks like this dude's gonna have like just based on the amount of he's drinking, it's like he's got ulcers, he's ridden with ulcers.
Wow.
And then there's this other guy who's just kind of they're all assholes, and this old the king is like the biggest of the assholes. He is on a website where he is basically looking for a sugar baby.
Oh, okay.
And there's parts of the show where he's going on dates with these young women.
Okay.
And his first question, he always takes them to like a diner, and he always asks them to sit in a booth, and he asks them to sit on the same side so he can block them in. And then his first question is, "Are those your natural breasts?"
First question. Every time.
Yes. And one of them says no, and then he goes, "We're done."
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, right to the man that knows what he wants. Right to the point.
Yeah. He's such a prick.
And this is all on film.
Yes, it's all on film.
I knew a guy that had 3 questions he would ask new girls when he was trying to hook up with somebody, and it was even more asshole-ish. But he said it was deliberately to weed out the people that would not match with his sensibilities.
Yeah. But this dude, he's like 90.
Yeah, I'm looking at the trailer right now. I'm gonna watch this. This sounds great because I worked at the Renaissance Fair for one summer, and it was fantastic. It was so fun. Yeah. I love the Ren Faire.
But yeah, it's a very entertaining documentary. It's like 3 episodes.
Yeah, 3 1-hour episodes or something like that.
Super fun. And then my last streaming pick of the week, continuing with our spaghetti western theme, finishing off the Man with No Name trilogy for a few dollars more, the second installment of this trilogy.
Yeah, I watched this too.
Honestly, is my favorite one.
Hey, me too.
Of the 3.
It's so good.
It's
so good.
Really, really good.
So entertaining.
It's right in the middle, 2.5 hours, not 3.5 hours, and not 1.5 hours. It's just that sort of like modern day popcorn epic movie, box office movie.
There's a little dragging in some of the middle parts, but not much.
And Clint Eastwood kind of has a name in this.
Yeah, he does.
His name is Monko.
Yeah.
It's not Blondie this time.
No, they call him Monko, and they don't allude to the fact that he doesn't have a name. They just call him that.
Yeah, he's like his guy also came through looking for this same guy. His name was Monko.
And this one is also starring Klaus Kinski in a smaller role. And Lee Van Cleef and Luigi Pistilli's, like a lot of familiar faces.
Yep. Mario Braga
from these movies, and it's Clint Eastwood plays a bounty hunter. Lee Van Cleef plays another bounty hunter,
and they call them bounty killers.
Yeah. And they are both in pursuit of one specific criminal named Indio, who has a very large, he has like a $10,000 bounty on his head, and Clint Eastwood's like after him so that he can stop bounty hunting. And same with Lee Van Cleef. And then eventually they both end up working together. Yeah, there's a lot of like, I don't want to say not espionage, but undercover. There's an undercover part of the story where Clint Eastwood is trying to get into the gang itself so that he can get close to Indio.
Yep.
The character of Indio, I think, is really interesting as a villain too.
He was fantastic.
Because at first he's like an evil dude, and then there's another scene where he just looks like he's miserable.
He's got PTSD of some sort.
Yeah,
he's haunted by his like gang members have to like cover him up to sleep at night because he falls asleep with his eyes open, just dreaming about terrible things of the past.
Sleeps with his eyes open.
He's like, oh, they have to like light his cigarette for him. He's shaking and shit. He's terrifying villain.
Yeah, I think it's of the three. I feel like this story is like the most solid of the story, like straight like through line, easy to follow, and just really really fun, and a lot of great cinematography in this as well. A lot of great shots of like the desert of the desert at night. A lot of great night shots and night scenes. Yeah, just really solid. Also streaming on Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
cool.
Those are the three that I watched.
All right, Pete, what do you have for us this week?
I'll go right into my thoughts on them for a few dollars more. I mirror almost everything what Joseph said. It's the most entertaining of the three. I think the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly has a more dynamite, finite ending to it. Like that standoff of the three of them and the music and the eyes shifting back and forth and the crescendo of music. But honestly, the score in this one, for a few dollars more, part 2 of the trilogy, is better, I think, than the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Like you think of the classic. I have it here somewhere. Where is it?
Yeah.
You think of that, and then you think of the trilogy. You think of Clint Eastwood and all that stuff. But without that hook, this doesn't have a hook like that. It doesn't have something that you can just like whistle and whatever. But there is still whistling in it, and the actual like musical motifs that come in and out with all the characters is so fucking good. Like it's really good.
Yeah, there's like a choir of guys going like chanting, like grunting.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's intense. And like Ennio Morricone knows exactly what he's doing. Like the intensity of the music matches the scenes perfectly. It's so good. But Lee Van Cleef has much more to do in this movie. He's not just a brooding asshole ape of a villain.
Yeah.
It's not just something to look at.
Yeah. And there's a great scene where the two of them, they're two bounty hunters, and they're essentially both going after the same guy, and they run into each other in a town together. And there's a fucking great scene.
Like a shoot off.
Yeah. They walk up to each other and they like look at each other, and Clint is a young, gruff dude with, dusty old clothes, and Lee Van Cleef is well put together.
Poncho.
The poncho. And Lee Van Cleef's got the all black with the shiny black boots.
More seasoned.
And more polished too.
Yeah.
And Clint Eastwood's character comes up to him and literally just looks down at his shiny boots and steps on his boots and grinds his boot into
What
it.
an asshole.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, what is he going to do? And like literally 5 minutes of runtime ago, Van Cleef says something like, what's the good of lugging a pistol around if you're not going to use it when someone disrespects you?
Yeah.
So you're thinking, oh, he's going to pull the pistol out. But instead, he steps on Clint Eastwood's boots and rubs his boot in it. And they're both looking at each other like, couple of assholes here. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
And then it turns into a hat shooting competition. He shoots the hat off of each other's heads. It's like so fucking good. So,
yeah.
And I won't say what happens after that, but the reveal after it is like, so the smash cut. You're like, okay, this is fucking great. And at the beginning too, I like the idea of the spaghetti western in a condensed down, one sentence thing is ultra low budget movies made by Italian and European directors on Italian and European stages or whatever.
Yeah.
So you get this cheesy pie sort of aspect to a lot of it, and it gets lost because everybody's used to thinking of Sergio Leone and just how cool and like badass and brooding their stuff is. But there's a cheese factor to it too.
Oh yeah.
And in this one, the first takedown of Clint's character, Monko, his first person he takes in, he fucking karate chops the guy twice.
yeah.
Karate chops?
Yeah,
He literally goes like that.
Yeah, right in his neck. And then the guy comes at him again and he goes, I think that's a mistake. Yeah, and like chops him in the neck again. I'm like, all right, I'm in. 100% in on this. So it was a blast. This is a super fun movie streaming on Prime.
Nice.
I watched also some of the new season of Black Mirror. I won't spend a whole lot of time because I'm not going to go through each individual episode, but there's a great one, a really fantastic one called Common People that's starring, what is her name? Rashida Jones and Chris O'Dowd. Chris O'Dowd's the Irish actor who's in Bridesmaids. And Rashida Jones, Rashida Jones. And it's basically like having a subscription service for a loved one who died. But you get to keep them alive, but you have a subscription service. You got to pay something a month to keep them alive.
Okay.
And then what happens when Netflix raises their subscription? You have a choice whether to cancel. What happens when your loved one's subscription price gets raised?
That's dark.
And you're like, you were on Rivermind regular. Now Rivermind Platinum is the next level, and that gives you the ad-free service. You're like, I got fucking ads on my wife? Yes. So that one is so bleak and so depressing. And I like Black Mirror because it always gives you a really bleak look on the future. And you're like, I could see that happening in 50 years or 20 years or whatever, Yeah. Hopefully I'll be in the ground by then. My poor niece and nephew will have to deal with that shit.
Oh, jeez.
But that in that one specifically, you like both of the characters.
Okay.
So it's even more bleak. And in most of the movies or most of these episodes, there's like one dickhead, and when they get their comeuppance, it feels good. In this one, in Common People, I think it's the first episode. Oh man, it's bleak. It's bleak, and you like both the people, so it's really sad.
Oh no.
So far, I've watched 4 of the episodes. They're all
what season is it?
7.
Yeah, damn.
I know. I thought it was 5 or 6, but it's 7.
That's what I was thinking too.
But yeah, they're all really good. Anywhere between 4 and 5 stars so far. So as far as Westerns go, I watched a few dollars more, which is we just talked about that. And then I went down. I was going to watch the Hudson River Massacre, and Joseph sent me What was it called on Plex?
Rebels in Canada.
Yeah,
Rebels in Canada. And I was like, I wonder if I'm going to find it by that, or if I had to, in my head, I was thinking, how did Joseph figure that out?
How did you figure that out?
It was like a series of Googling, and because it was streaming on, it said it was streaming on Plex. I was looking at Plex, Hudson River Massacre. Nothing came up.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I know that now.
Yeah, we know that now. Yeah.
Why didn't you? Whatever. I was looking it up, and then I went to the IMDb, and then I typed in that name. It was like Etrid del Colorado. I tried that on Plex, and then I think it came up on that. Then it came up, but not as that title, as Rebels in Canada. And I was like, "Is that the same movie?" And then I made sure it's the same poster. I'm like, "Yeah, it's the same poster, same plot, same everything." So yeah.
So I typed in Hudson River Massacre on Plex just to see how you might have gotten there, because I'm like, I wonder if I could figure that out if I had to.
Yeah.
And I also just didn't want to open the app again and then Messenger and look at the name.
Yeah.
And I found another movie called Massacre River.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
And I watched it from 1949. And this is not a spaghetti Western. This is an American Western.
Oh, okay.
American director John Rollins, who has made a series of weird movies like Dick Tracy Meets Gruesome, Dick Tracy's Dilemma.
Dick Tracy.
Yeah, Air Devils, Shark Beach, Mr. Dynamite.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Dynamite.
Yeah, Lost Lagoon, Halfway to Shanghai. All these really weird movies. And some of them are supernatural, some of them are horror. Arabian Nights, 1942. And but he made this movie called Massacre River. John Rollins directed it, starring Guy Madison and Rory Calhoun, a couple of all-American Yankee Doodle dandies, right?
Yeah.
And the story of this is two cavalry officers clash over the colonel's daughter in a remote outpost with Indian troubles. Sounds kind of similar to the Hudson River Massacre. There's the leader of the Hudson Bay Company or whatever and his daughter, right? So I read it and I'm looking through some trivia. Let me see if I could find it here. Massacre River. And they called it Massacre River because it was the dividing line between the American sort of
Canada and
This is a different movie. This is a movie that you didn't watch. I'm telling you about the other movie.
I know.
It's not. This is not set in Canada.
Okay.
It's a different movie. Come on.
I was referencing the other movie.
I'm joking.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so this is the Massacre River. There's an actual name of the river. I don't know the name of the river, but they call it Massacre River because it's the dividing line between like the Native American territory and like where the Americans have made their outpost, and they have a treaty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Massacre River. Make sure I get this right, and it was written based off of a book called, where is it?
The Hudson River Massacre.
No.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
No, where is it? It was they quoted it as a remake.
Tombstone.
No. This is in 1946. So it was not
True Grit.
1949. Well, let me look it up because this is
Red Dead Redemption.
no.
Oh, this bit again.
Massacre River. And I'll just say the movie was fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. But it was, 1949 movie, and it's a very black and white, you know who's good and know who's bad a little bit, but there's actually some subtlety in some of the characters.
Was it actually black and white?
It was in black and white, yeah.
Oh, okay.
At least I think so. I'm trying to remember now off the top of my head.
Did I see in color?
I think it was in color.
Oh, okay.
No, it was black and white. Yeah, it was black and white. There's a scene where two guys are arguing, or they're racing to the bathtub to see who can take a bath the first, and ripping each other's clothes off the entire time.
Two dudes,
and then when one of them gets there, and he finds the other guy's already beat him into the tub.
Yeah,
beaten what?
He gets mad and he jumps in the tub with him, and I'm like, what is happening in this movie? Oh. Thank you for that. Are these all I think you should leave clips? Is that what that is? So it's based off of a book and a remake of a movie called When a Man's a Man from 1924.
They were remaking movies in 1949 from movies
they
from
were.
the 20s.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, so When a Man's a Man. And then it was also
a man. He's a man.
And then it was also made from 1924 to 1935, and then they remade the 1935 version in 1949. So I say all this to
It's
say
like A
that-
Star is Born.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Except for this fucking movie no one's ever heard of before.
Yeah.
So, it was interesting, kind of an interesting movie. I'm not mad that I read it or watched it, but I don't think I should recommend it to anybody. But the thing that I thought was really weird is that there's a character named Chief Yellowstone. And he's in the very beginning, and he's like, hey, tell Chief Yellowstone that, his young, Apaches or whatever, they can't come into our side. And we found them on our side. And if anything that happens, we're going to hold him in contempt for it or whatever. And he basically says, I can't hold the young people of my tribe. They're restless, and I can't be responsible for them. And he's got the long feather headdress that goes all the way to the ground. He's in the stereotypical cowboys and Indians regalia. And I look up that actor. And his name is Iron Eyes Cody. Does the name sound familiar to you guys? You know anything?
Iron Eyes
Cody.
No.
Iron Eyes Cody. So Iron Eyes Cody ends up being a very interesting figure, which I looked up because I said, the guy looks really familiar.
And
so
he was young in this, I imagine.
Youngish. He died in 1999, I think. 1999 he died. Yeah, 99. So turns out Iron Eyes Cody was born Espera Oscar de Corti, an Italian immigrant whose parents were from Italian immigrants, and he was born in America, second generation Italian immigrant, no Native American descent whatsoever.
Okay.
Oh.
when his dad started doing some touring he was born in Louisiana. His dad started touring the country with an entertainment act that was a Cowboys and Indians act. And he picked up an affinity for the Indian culture at the time. And when he moved to California with him and his brothers to get into Hollywood, he basically took on the affectation of an Indian. And he became one of the most prominent quote unquote Indian actors in Hollywood for fucking generations. Oh my God. This guy, and he changed the name from DeCordy to Cordy, then to Cody, and then he adapted the name Iron Eyes Cody. So he has on his 216 credits as an actor. He's been in Ernest Goes to Camp, Sitting Bull as Crazy Horse, Gray Eagle as Standing Bear. He's the guy from the 1980s littering commercial where he cries. The Indian cries. That's the guy. Tear. That's him. That's Iron Eyes Cody, which is probably one of the most effective anti-littering ads of all time. Yeah, and as much as people make fun of it, and like Wayne's World 2 made fun of it, it still works, right? And that's Iron Eyes fucking Cody. So this guy denied to his death that he had no Indian culture like blood in him. Yeah. He had his half sister in 1996, 3 years before his death, had basically spoke to some, LA Times or whatever, and said,
"I've never seen this. The litter ad.
I've never seen it. I've only seen it in reference. At the very end, somebody throws a bag of fast food out the window at his feet, and it smashes over his feet, and it pans up, and he cries one tear. So when Iron Eyes Cody came to America or to California, he just basically kept wearing this set piece stuff. They say, "Hey, can I keep this?" Like, yeah, sure. And he just wore it out in public. And he became known as a Native American. And he was honored in 1995 by the Hollywood Native American Foundation or whatever, as basically a non-tribe member who contributed to the advancement of
so they
Native
accepted
American.
him.
Yeah. They did. They accepted him. He went full fucking circle. Because in 1960 something, he married a woman who was a Native American archaeologist, bona fide. She had
you ain't bona fide.
She had papers.
Bona fide.
Papers belonged to some tribe or whatever. And they adopted 2 Native American children who needed a home, and they raised them together. But he literally lived and walked the walk as a Native American. He was transracial before Rachel Dolezal made it popular.
Oh God.
And if you look on Iron Eyes Cody's Wikipedia page, it says near the bottom, it gives references or people also looked at. Rachel Dolezal is on there. It says also Pretendian. Pretendian is basically that 1970s and 80s epidemic. Jesus. After people stopped hating the Indians and started saying, "Oh, these guys are cool now." Now it's all of a sudden let's get the money from the whatever. Chief Thundercloud, Rachel Dolezal, Seshin Littlefeather, all these like famous quote unquote Indians. Some of them are actually Native Americans, and some of them were Pretendians apparently.
Pretendians.
So I watched that. I went down this weird rabbit trail because my thought process on Hudson River Massacre was the movie's got a really bad IMDb rating. We accept it's probably going to be bad. I watched for a few dollars more, and I go, you know what? I don't want to get whiplash too bad. Let's watch this shitty old 1940s movie. And I watched that, and I was like, it's not that bad. It's okay. It's like a 2.5 star movie, something like that. Not terrible, but just like
it's just called River Massacre.
River Massacre.
No Hudson.
No river. No, Massacre River.
Oh, Massacre River.
Because they named the river Massacre River because there was so much bloodshed between the whatever. And the gunfight at the end is so funny between like a group of the Indians and these 3 guys or 2 guys and a girl at the end and stuff. It's not a good movie, but I got to learn a lot about Iron Eyes Cody.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. And he, like I said, denied till his death.
Wow. The whole time?
I'm joking.
The whole time. So anyways, that's it. What's up? You got Tyler.
Alrighty. So I would like to apologize first and foremost. I did not watch a spaghetti western outside of the one that that we are going to be reviewing this week. But I started. Oh, well, you know what? First, I'm just gonna put it out there.
Let's preamble a little bit more.
Yeah. I watched the new The Last of Us season 2 episode 1 last Sunday.
I was wondering if we were going to talk about it.
Oh yeah, I watched that too.
Yeah, well, right here, right now, we can talk about it briefly.
I was being like edged the whole time.
Yes, I was, because I was very underwhelmed with the first episode. I think there's great stuff to come to this new season of this beloved show that we all love. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure about the lead actress, Bella Ramsey. I don't know. I mean, she just
Wait. What about them?
They.
What about them makes you not so sure?
wait. It's they.
It's a they.
They're the they.
They're a they.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I'm pretty sure she says they or she.
I don't know about these pronouns. God.
Yo, this bit again.
Well, they.
Damn.
I've never heard that much disdain in Tyler's voice in my life.
Your conservative is showing.
I don't know what it was. Her performance last season was incredible. I loved their performance last season.
She's brooding right now.
But this season, I don't know. It just seemed a little bit lackluster. Joel, Pedro Pascal, of course, he's incredible. I think they set it up for, and then Abby looked really great as well. And Peter's prediction of the ending of the first episode did not come to light, which I was very happy about. The cinematography, like everything felt very cinematic about this whole episode. It just felt like I was watching a movie. Like after I watched it, I was like, oh, that's it? When's the sequel? But then I realized it's a television show. There's going to be a second episode.
Then I realized, oh shit, I'm watching TV.
Yeah. And I think that's like the magic of the whole creation of this TV show, is that it makes you feel like you're watching a movie, and it's more or less the same amount of time-wise in a movie.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, where are we going with this?
The Last of Us season 2 episode 1.
Okay.
Great stuff. Streaming.
Wait,
on
what?
HBO.
You said it was. You said it was
you're underwhelmed.
I yes, I was underwhelmed. It did. That doesn't
Great stuff.
It doesn't take away from the fact that it was great.
It's good. Just watch it.
It was great, but I was very disappointed.
Super
I
disappointed.
didn't say very disappointed. I just said I was underwhelmed.
Very underwhelmed.
It's
It's
another
still-
word for disappointed.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What were you hoping for?
I was hoping for a little bit more like surprising twists and turns.
It's the first episode.
I like the girl that played Dora the Explorer. She's good. Dina.
Yes. Oh man, what a vision.
Yeah.
She.
Whoa, that's where you went with it. Yeah, she's pretty hot. I think she's pretty hot.
She's a hot dude.
She was good too.
And she's bi.
And she's into chicks.
I saw it. She kissed the one.
I mean,
I have my problems with the show. Well, with this episode.
yeah. What?
Well, they already ruined the reveal in the first 10 minutes of this episode. Of
They
Abby.
did?
Yes, of Abby and her intentions. The game made it. It's so much more impactful when you don't know why she's there in the game. Right out the gate, they're like,
first 10 minutes.
"We're going for Joel, and he's dead. We're out to murder him."
Here's the plan. I wrote it down.
And they also showed a lot of stuff story-wise from the very end of the story in the game in this first episode. Like that dance scene is a story, it's a plot point that happens much more towards the end of the story in the game. And then also they teased us with Joel on the porch with his guitar.
Yeah.
I will bet that they come back to it.
Oh, for sure.
It's like a half of a flashback that we're getting. And then I don't know. Abby's character, the casting is just.
I don't think she's buff enough.
It's not nearly as. It's not even just like she's just not buff. She doesn't match just because I'm a literalist. It's because she's buff because like she's been essentially training to be able to take vengeance on Joel. Like that's the reason why she's like that. It's much.
I think she's buff before she starts to go on the revenge path.
She's definitely not anywhere near. She like the beginning of her story in the game. She's closer to what we see now, and the acting part of it. I feel like matches that level.
Yeah,
but it's just her physical presence is what makes her is what makes her character so threatening and intimidating, and it makes something to worry about.
It makes the final fight in the game in the shallow water. You're actually worried about what's going to happen, and you can believe the intense things that they're doing to each other in the water, and you're like, oh, I think this is the end for her.
Yeah, it looks like that fight really hurt.
And my prediction for the next episode is that we're not gonna fully go golfing. What's gonna happen is they're gonna find him. Spoilers, by the way.
For anyone who cares,
they're gonna find him. They're gonna like Joel and Abby. They're gonna her gang. They're gonna meet up, and the episode is gonna end before the tragedy. And episode 3 is what's gonna happen in the beginning or somewhere in the middle.
I thought it was gonna be end of episode 1.
Yeah,
but that was my prediction.
It happens so early in the game.
It's
Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't know. I just think
I trust Craig Mazin, the showrunner, and I trust Neil Druckmann.
I'm excited
because the first one had a lot of big changes to the story too, and I was like, but okay, whatever.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see where they go with the scars and Yara and Lev and their story, because there's the parallels of the game.
The Magaverse is going to be on fire for that.
It's a fucking moral stress test when you're playing the game. It really puts it's like you're gonna play this person now, the person that you fucking hate, and you're gonna understand. And that's what's so beautiful about the game, and what makes
they're missing that opportunity with this, which is that's my only biggest gripe is the storytelling aspect that is made the second game so impactful for me is just wiped out with the way they told the story this time. But I'm just open minded. I'm gonna watch it.
I mean, as far as like a cinematic experience, it was beautiful, and so definitely check that out on HBO Max every Sunday.
All right, HBO.
Is it?
That's all you have?
No. And then I got turned on to this show called The Pitt.
You got turned on.
Do you have any movies this week?
No, just TV shows.
This bit again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna even get into like the reasons why I didn't sit down and watch a movie, but the 2025's The Pitt, which is streaming on Max as well, is about an ER in Pittsburgh, PA, and this show is so incredibly well done, and it actually kind of bothers me how well done it is, because
it bothers me how good this is.
It bothers me because after I watched the first episode, I felt like I had because I got off of work pretty late one night and put it on, and then after I watched the episode of the show The Pitt, I felt like I had just done another shift of work because of how stressful it is. It really depicts the work life of an ER doctor. It's not over dramatic like Grey's Anatomy or anything like that,
or the show ER,
or the show
or the show The Bear.
Yeah,
the TV show, the TV series of the show The Bear.
Well, I've seen discussions of the comparison between The Bear and The Pitt, and
like the difference children's story. The Bear and The Pitt.
The difference between The Bear and The Pitt is The Bear is definitely more dramatized. Like, the Bear's like Uncut Gems in a way, where like it's a little bit more fantasy based, but it's not really
fantasy based.
Well, yeah, I mean, like it's.
You mean like fantastical?
Okay, fantastical. Thank you.
Like there's no dragons. And
but the Pit feels very much more grounded in reality, and like the way that it's like almost a bunch of like one like shot takes throughout the whole episode, because it's always like following in like to hallways into the different rooms, and the way the acting works with these characters feels very much grounded in reality, where like if you were going into an ER room, that's what it would be like. So maybe I should go visit an ER room. And
they won't let you in.
What? They let everyone in.
You have to be dying.
Oh,
and
close to dying.
And even then, you're probably still going to be in the waiting room for a while.
Well, maybe. But so I watched the first episode, and then the second episode, a lot more intense. A lot more intense.
How many episodes did you watch? And how many episodes are there?
I don't know how many episodes there are, but I only watched the first 2.
Okay.
They're an hour long, so I'll consider that a movie.
We have what, probably 2/8 of a story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, there's not like a real linear story, other than like there's kind of an underlying sort of.
Is there a main character?
Yeah.
Yes.
Noah Wiley, I think, right?
And he has
from ER.
He has a fantastic beard.
Is he in ER?
I think so.
Oh.
He has a fantastic beard and a fantastic beak of a nose.
He only does medical related TV series.
Yeah. Well, the interesting part about this TV show is there was a lot of people involved in the medical field that were advising on this show. And so everything that you're seeing is more or less realistic. So, yeah, I mean, the one takeaway that I got from the show was that there's a lot of like one shot takes throughout the first 2 episodes I saw. So it really sucked.
What?
It really.
Oh!
I caught myself.
Really got sucked in on that one.
You're compelled not to get distracted while you're watching. But
you can't take your eyes away. Like, you are compelled to keep watching because of like it feels like a one take, like every single time that you're watching. Feels like a one take?
It feels like it, but I mean, I'm not an editor.
It's not.
I haven't seen it, so
I'm not an editor. I can't tell where cuts are.
No, I mean, you know. So yeah. Again, great television. The Last of Us and The Pit. Just great writing and great cinematography. And these definitely, to my smooth brain, feels like movies when I watch these shows.
Feels like movies. That's a new shirt.
Feels like movies.
Feels like movies.
I think we should change the name of the show. Feels like movies.
Feels like movies. Could be. It's almost like they might be giants.
They could be movies.
Chance of movies.
Yeah.
Claudia with a chance at movies.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Yes. So
I keep, every time I open Max, right?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I see.
Claudia with a chance of meatballs?
No, The Pit.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was like a reality show.
No, definitely not. But yeah, really.
And I thought it was not like a network show. So I thought it was bad because of how much it's being marketed and promoted to me.
Yeah, you know what? I thought about that too, but it wasn't until Bruce Perky mentioned it to me that I.
Yeah, I've seen his
checked it out.
He loves
his comments about it. He said he likes it a lot.
Bree's watched it. She said it's almost too intense. She's like, sometimes I can't watch it because I'm just too zuzzed up.
I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, after I got off of work, like I got home like at almost like 8 o'clock at night, and I was like, all right, well, let's just watch this show. Maybe it'll be
relaxing.
Good relaxing medical drama.
Yeah. So I made some scrambled eggs, and I was just like eating it, and I was like, oh my God.
Anything else?
That's it. That is it. I mean, yeah. That's it.
There's more?
No,
we are at almost 2 hours in this episode.
Okay, cool. Then that's it then.
Jesus Christ. Okay. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. I do have one more thing before I There's like ant on the spider on the table. Gone.
Spider.
One small thing I forgot to mention during the whole Sinners conversation. There's a weird trend right now. We have the
weird trend.
There's two movies that come out that are both about a volcano, 2 movies that come out both about an asteroid, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah. Vampires.
Mickey 17, Sinners.
Oh, the clones.
Severance, the Black Mirror USS McCalister episode, Alto Knights, which is the new Robert De Niro one, and Sonic 3 have all come out within the last 6 months, and they all have actors playing multiple parts.
Oh.
Yeah, I did see something about that.
It's a weird thing, just all lining up at once.
Man, the Nutty Professor and Austin Powers did a number on storytelling.
Yeah. Or Living with Yourself. You seen that one? The Paul Rudd one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's really good. So, anyways, thank you to our cool ass yard duties over on Patreon. That's Javier, Heather, Michael, and Chris. And thank you to all of you guys who support us on the Patreon in any way. If you can support us yourself, if you'd like, patreon.com/middleclassfilmclass, or you can just watch on the YouTube channel. Make YouTube pay us. Whoever the CEO is, I'm going to call him Jeff Bezos. Make him pay us instead of you. That would be great.
It's either Bezos or Gates.
One of those guys. So until next time. Thank you for joining us on this fractured, extended Gab and Chatter.
Gab and Chatter Extended Edition.
Yeah, that's right. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And follow us on Instagram at Middle Class Film Class.
And TikTok at Middle Class Film Class, and Twitter at Podcast MCFC.
All right. And follow us later on today, if you're live, or later on in the week, as we review the Hudson River Massacre, week 3 of Spaghetti Western April. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. See you later.
See ya. Howdy, classmates.
Class dismissed.
I gotta get out of here.
The bell doesn't dismiss you. I dismiss you.
You're free to go.
See you next week.
See you later.
See you later.
That's a wrap.
Great show.